Now at 10, the latest on Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice after he turns himself in to Dallas police. Plus, how a local organization is making sure every child in the 4 states has a bed. And Iran retaliates against Israel. We'll have the latest.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice turns himself in to Dallas police. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Anthony Saviello. The Dallas Police Department says Rice turned himself in Thursday evening. He posted a $40,000 bond not long after. The 23-year-old's surrender comes after police issued an arrest warrant for him. He is accused of being involved in a 6-car chain reaction crash last month and fleeing the scene. No one was killed, but 4 people were treated for injuries. Rice faces multiple counts, including aggravated assault and collision involving injury. It was a beautiful day outside. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us with a first look at weather.
Today, temperatures got up to the mid-80s and lower 80s across the region. Some got up to about 87 degrees for our high for the region. Now, didn't quite hit any records, with a record back in 1972 set at 92 degrees, so not quite record highs anytime soon. Now temperatures starting to dip down into the lower 70s and even in the 60s, 69 in Independence, 70 in Nevada, so getting a little cooler out there with our low dropping down to about 63, 64 tonight. We have a few clouds in the region, but nothing really going on until Monday. That's when we're going to see this low pressure system that's still sitting off the coast of California, making its way into our area Monday evening into Tuesday morning. However, until then, it's going to be pretty nice tomorrow. Our low only getting down to 63, 64, but sunny all day long. I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Downtown Joplin is a little bit more colorful. Today was the grand opening of the Keystone Gallery, which features art, photography, and jewelry. The gallery currently displays work from more than 20 local artists. Today they helped present their work, including one artist working live. The owners of the Keystone Gallery are photographers who also display their work. They say they want to use art as a way to support and enrich the community. The Missouri Southern Wildlife Society chapter today hosted an outdoor education community day. The students spent the day educating the community about nature and the world we live in. Attendees were able to hold live animals and participate in water sampling.
It's easy to see a pelt on a table or to see a specimen in a jar and think, oh, that's not too scary. I can learn about that from a distance. And you know, especially things like snakes, people are really scared of them. But if we can hold them in our hands, we can show people how they act, we can show that they're normal animals and that they just want to get away and live their life, then sometimes that can eliminate some of the fear and that can make people a little more excited about nature rather than scared of it.
Today's event was at the Missouri Southern Biology Pond on campus. One local organization is hoping to make sure that children in the 4 states always have a bed to sleep on. KOAM Samantha Walker is in studio with more.
2 to 3% of American children are believed to sleep without a bed. That's a problem that Sleep in Heavenly Peace is hoping to address. I met with the recently formed Carl Junction chapter to learn how they are providing for area children.
It's a good feeling to know that we'll be making a difference in the lives of children in the area.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace is an organization with a recently started chapter in Carl Junction. The group works to provide a bed for children ages 3 to 18. Their motto is, "No child sleeps on the floor in our town."
We start from scratch, just lumber, and when we are finished with this, we'll have a fully assembled bunk bed. We get mattresses as well. They get quilts, they get bedding, they get everything that they need to sleep on to have a bed. Some kids go from sleeping on the floor to a full bed.
The organization hosted its first public build at the First Assembly of God in Carl Junction. More than 25 volunteers came out to help build 10 beds by hand. Matt Burgeon is a local youth pastor who brought some kids with him to volunteer. He says the cause hits close to home.
Well, I've got several kids of my own, and I couldn't imagine any of them not having a nice, warm, comfortable bed to sleep in. And so just wanting to make sure that other kids have that same luxury and the the same comforts of home, of being able to sleep in a nice warm bed at night.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace is volunteer-based, and all tools and materials are purchased through donations. The chapter president says the cause is something that can bring a community together.
Something everybody can rally around, young or old. It's a cause that tugs at heartstrings, and it's awesome to see different generations coming together. My son's here today, and just, different generations building together.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace will provide beds to children in Carl Junction, Webb City, and Carthage. They hope to have finished beds ready to go out in the coming weeks.
Thanks, Sam. Pineapple Bliss today held a Dogs in the Drive-Thru event for local pups. The frozen dessert shop teamed up with the Joplin Humane Society for the event. Attendees that brought their furry friend received a free pup cup and bandana. All proceeds from today's event went to the Joplin Humane Society.
Well, it's important to get the dogs out of their kennels and into the public's eyes in a way that's more relaxing for the dogs, where they can be more carefree and more themselves than being seen behind bars with a lot of anxiety. And it's also really important to get donations from events like these, because we are strictly ran off of donations.
Pineapple Bliss is at 1021 East 20th Street in Joplin. Local businesses today participated in a Page-a-Palooza Community Day. The purpose of the event is to help support Joplin small businesses. It included food trucks, local vendors, in-store specials, adoptable animals, and a lot more. More than 25 vendors participated in today's event.
I just want them to come and have a good time and see all of the small businesses in the area and help support us all, because why would you support someone else that doesn't even know you, but maybe your family friend works in a small business and you could support them?
The Community Day kicked off at 11 this morning and wrapped up around 3. Coming up, Iran retaliates against Israel with a drone strike. Plus, a look at the Masters after day 3, and Pitt State baseball takes on Missouri Western. We'll have the highlights coming up. You're running out of time to file those tax returns, and a popular food for kids is coming under scrutiny. Christine Lazar has more in this Eye on Consumer report.
Consumer Reports wants school cafeterias to stop giving students Lunchables. The group says testing found high sodium plus levels of lead and other heavy metals that exceed California standards. Lunchables maker Kraft Heinz says lead and cadmium occur naturally in the environment and called the Consumer Reports study misleading, causing undue concern over the safety of our products, something we take seriously. All our products tested well below the acceptable limits. Inflation is on the rise. A government report shows prices increased 3.5% in March compared to last year. That's the biggest spike in 6 months. Increasing energy costs, along with more expensive rent prices, are the main reasons why. Tax day is approaching. Most Americans have until Monday, April 15th to submit their returns or request an extension. The IRS says the majority of people who qualify for refunds will see them within 21 days. The average refund is around $3,200. And those are some of the week's top consumer stories. I'm Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Drug shortages have hit an all-time high in the U.S. The American Society of Health System Pharmacists and the Utah Drug Information Service reported the shortage. Experts say a lack of chemotherapy, emergency, and ADHD medications is worrisome. One report warns it can be from economic factors in the manufacturing of the drugs and the supply chain, as well as competition from generic manufacturers. The Department of Health and Human Services published a paper last week stating how Congress can help with the issue. Iran has launched an attack against Israel as retaliation for an Israeli airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Syria, which killed Iranian military officials 2 weeks ago. As CBS's Christian Benavidez reports, this could signal a dramatic escalation.
Sirens and explosions heard throughout Israel as Israeli air defenses appear to be intercepting incoming Iranian strikes. Late Saturday, Iran announced that for the first time, it launched drones and ballistic missiles towards Israeli territory in a dramatic escalation after decades of tensions between the two nations.
The regime in Iran fired a massive swarm over 200 killer drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles towards the state of Israel.
Earlier, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in an address to the nation, said, "Our defense systems are deployed. We are prepared for any scenario, both in defense and attack." U.S. officials believe Iran's attack could include more than 100 drones, 150 cruise missiles, and even ballistic missiles used for long-range strikes. President Joe Biden, who was in Delaware for the weekend, cut his trip short to head back to the White House to meet with national security officials, despite recent disagreements over its response in Gaza. At a press conference earlier this week, the president said the U.S. stands with Israel.
We are devoted to the defense of Israel. We will support Israel. We will help defend Israel. And Iran will not succeed.
Iran is looking to retaliate after an airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Syria 2 weeks ago. 7 military officers were killed. General Frank McKenzie, former head of Central Command, says there is real concern an Iranian attack could lead to wider conflict.
If there's a significant mass casualty event inside Israel, then I think the possibility of escalation is very, very high.
Israel has limited gatherings and is recommending its citizens to stay near safe rooms and shelters. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
President Biden left his weekend home in Rialto Beach, Delaware on Saturday and headed back to the White House amid the reported Iranian attack on Israel. The United States has vowed to support Israel, its long-standing ally. Mr. Biden was scheduled to meet his national security team to monitor the situation in the Middle East. Tensions in the volatile region are at their highest since the Israel-Hamas war began 6 months ago. There are concerns the conflict will escalate into a wider regional war. A little later, how actor Steve Martin has found himself at the top of the music charts.
And we're tracking some storms that are coming through the area on Monday as well on Tuesday. We do have some storms coming in on Monday. However, Sunday's looking pretty nice and starting tonight going to be pretty clear. Taking a look outside at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Nice night out there. We're moving into the overnight hours. We may see a cloud or two, but overall, pretty nice night. We have some storms coming in on Monday. That system is still off the coast of California. It's going to strengthen. The low pressure system will be moving into our area Monday night into Tuesday morning. Today we had some pretty low humidity values, less than 25%. However, as we go into Sunday, we're going to see more 35 to 45% range. That is just right above what you would expect for fire weather. So fire weather is not as much of a concern tomorrow, especially because these winds are going to be dying down as well. We're still seeing gusts tonight up to 25, maybe 30 miles per hour, but this is 7 a.m. on Sunday. They're starting to diminish, and that continues on throughout the afternoon hours. This is 2 p.m. They've greatly diminished, so we will have maybe a light breezy day, but overall pretty nice and warm, getting up to about 84 degrees in the Joplin region and even higher than that in surrounding counties. See some clouds rolling in Sunday due to the storms we have coming in on Monday. Now this is the SPC outlook. We have an elevated risk in some of our western counties. There's Chautauqua County and surrounding counties as well. And then taking a look at Kansas and Oklahoma in a low risk zone. Now if you're going through the border across to Missouri and Arkansas, less than low. We don't have many concerns for severe weather in that area, mostly just coming in through the western counties, and they'll diminish as they cross over that border. Now, timing is still up for debate. We have 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. for our timing threshold, just due to the fact that these storms are developing later, around 4 to 6 a.m. on Tuesday. However, if a cap breaks and those storms fire off earlier, then we'll see thunderstorms early on Monday into the evening hours. So we're still waiting to see how those will continue to develop. Main threats being strong winds up to 40, 50 miles per hour, hail, and you can't rule out a tornado or two. Now we're going to take a look and see what we can expect on Monday. Just some showers throughout the day going through the region. And then here we go, 7 p.m. Showers start to increase, maybe a thunderstorm or two in those southern counties. After midnight into the early morning hours on Tuesday, around 6 to 7 a.m., we're going to see some thunderstorms push through, and this is that dry line. So right behind it, going to be a dry air mass. That comes through, and we'll have some thunderstorm development with that. Now, if you take a look off to West Wichita, we'll see the low pressure system rotating back in, bringing us some more storms Tuesday night. Right now, we still have a possible alert day for Monday. That's going to be Monday evening, and then storms will rotate back in on Tuesday. More showers roll in Thursday, and that'll drop those temperatures down from the 60s and 50s by next weekend.
All right, looking forward to that. It was a good day today, though.
It was a good day today. Another good day tomorrow. For the most part, you know, a little windy, but that's okay.
Then break out the rain jacket and the umbrella.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's Monday.
Okay, Monday.
Did you watch the forecast?
I did. I promise. Thanks, Lindsay. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up in sports, day 3 of the Masters tournament wraps up. We'll take a look at the leaderboard. Plus, Pitt State baseball looks to improve their home record. Brock Baldridge is here with the highlights and more up next.
The Pitt State baseball team is home this weekend for a series for the first time this month, and the good news for the Gorillas is the team is 15-4 when playing at home this season. Nice afternoon in Pittsburgh as the Gorillas look to take the series against Missouri Western. We pick things up in the 5th inning. Pitt State leads 4-0. Hayden Dyer goes yard with a tape measure shot over the scoreboard. That ball is long gone, and Pitt State leads 5-0. But the Gorillas have trouble holding on to the lead, so we go to the top of the 8th. 2 on with 1 out. Runner at third. Western is down 5-4. Pitt State tries to turn the 6-4-3 double play, but the runner is safe at first. Gorillas challenge, but the call stands. So we have a 5-5 tied ball game. To the bottom of the 8th. Game still tied as Blake Mosley goes opposite field, and see you later to go ahead 2-run home run. And the Gorillas hang on the rest of the way. Pitt State wins this game 11-5. PSU will go for the sweep tomorrow at noon. More action happening in the MIAA. The Missouri Southern Lions are on the road, taking on Northeastern State, and Missouri Southern picks up the wins. The Lions defeat the Riverhawks 13-9. Drew Townsend had a 3-run homer in this game, and Henry Kuziak continues to break records as the senior shortstop is now the program's all-time leader in career RBIs. On to the softball diamond, the Pitt State Gorillas win their 9th and 10th straight game of the season by getting the sweep against Emporia State. PSU wins the first game 13-3, and the Gorillas go on to win the second one 11-3. So Pitt State is now in second place in the MIAA standings. And over to Topeka, Missouri Southern's on the road at Washburn. The Lions lose both of those games. Southern will take another road trip next weekend for better luck against Missouri Western and Northwest Missouri State. Well, the Kansas City Royals are off to a hot start. The Mets snapped the Royals' 7-game winning streak last night, but the boys in blue look to start a new streak this afternoon. Out to Queens in New York. Royals in the Mets. Second inning, Kansas City's down 3-2 until the 2015 World Series MVP Salvador Perez gives the Royals a lead with a 2-run single. It's a 4-3 ball game. We head to the third inning. Same score as P. Alonso gets every stitch of this baseball, and he touches them all. Solo shot into the stands. We're tied up 4-4. To the fourth inning, Royals now lead 5-4, and Salvador Perez hits a deep fly ball, and Brandon Nimmo nearly makes a great catch, and it's originally ruled a double, but after review, the ball does hit the fence beyond the wall, so the umpires will rule that a 2-run home run, and that's the 250th career home run in Salvy's career. So the Kansas City Royals get the win 11-7. On to the National League tonight. The St. Louis Cardinals are out west once again, and this time the defending National League champs knock off the Redbirds 4-2. St. Louis will look to win the series finale on Sunday. Well, it's something that never changes, and that is the beauty of the Masters tournament in Augusta, Georgia. And, well, there's been a lot of movement in Day 3 heading into Sunday. Here's your look at the leaderboard. It's Scotty Scheffler who's in first place after shooting a 71. Then Colin Morikawa makes up some ground. Currently 1 stroke behind Scheffler, and Max Homa's in there at third, and Berg rounds out the top 4 on the leaderboard. So it certainly looks like we're in a treat for Sunday. And Anthony, I know you've been really in tune with this Masters tournament. So, I mean, what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
I'm looking forward to Scotty Scheffler, world ranked #1. I've been following him a long time. He's great. And Colin Morikawa, he deserves a Masters jacket as well. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be an exciting game.
We'll have to see what happens with Scotty Scheffler. His wife pregnant, 9 months pregnant. I mean, he's in first place. What happens if you have to?
It's the Masters. All right, thanks, Brock. We'll be right back. Steve Martin, Ringo Starr, and Taylor Swift are in the news this week. Rick Damigella has those stories and more in this musical Hollywood Minute.
The bluegrass charts have picked me now. I headline hardly strictly. You can't escape my song on Bluegrass Radio.
Steve Martin tops the charts. Allison Brown and Martin's new single, Bluegrass Radio, debuted at #1 on the Bluegrass Today Airplay chart. The song is available digitally from Compass Records.
Simply register a .music domain name, like marysmith.music.
Registration is now open for .music web addresses. Artists from Taylor Swift to Lady Gaga are already on board with the new domain, reserved for members of the music community. Tune in to geta.musicdomain.com for more info.
When we do this, we say peace and love.
Ringo Starr gets a little help from his friend, Linda Perry. Perry wrote and produced the songs for Starr's forthcoming EP, Crooked Boy. The 4-song set will release on limited edition vinyl on April 20th for Record Store Day, followed by a digital release April 26th, and CD and regular vinyl editions May 31st. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
It's been warming up a little bit out there.
It has. We're getting into the 80s tomorrow, even higher than 84. Some counties may see upper 80s. Storms come in on Monday, though. We have a possible alert day, and then storms rotate back in for Tuesday night.
All right, and final sports note.
Sporting KC loses tonight in the hands of Leo Messi and Inter Miami. However, at Arrowhead Stadium tonight, third highest attendance ever, 72,000. There tonight at Arrowhead for just a soccer match. It's pretty impressive.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's our time for tonight. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.